Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into one of the most incredible stories you'll ever hear. It's all about family, some serious betrayal, and amazing forgiveness. Yep, we're talking about the story of Joseph and his brothers.
Welcome to Bible Guidebook. This is the place where we get to explore all the greatest stories from the Bible together, and let me tell you, the one we have for you today is something special.
So let me ask you something before we start. Have you ever gotten a gift that was just so special? You know, something that made you feel totally unique? Keep that feeling in mind, because believe it or not, our whole story kicks off with a gift that turns a family's whole world upside down. All right, let's get into it. A boy and his coat. This is a story about a special son and some very jealous brothers. So, our story starts with this young guy named Joseph. He's living way back in a place called Canaan with his dad Jacob, and get this, 11 older brothers. That is a big family. Now, you'd think with 12 sons, a father would love them all the same, right? Well, Jacob, he had a clear favorite, and it was Joseph. It wasn't a secret at all. Everyone in the family knew it. And to show just how much he loved Joseph, Jacob gave him this incredible gift, a coat of many colors. I mean, just imagine it. Bright reds, shining blues, deep greens, and golden yellows all woven together. This wasn't just any coat, it made Joseph stand out in a crowd for sure. But here's where the trouble starts. That beautiful coat, to his brothers, it was basically a big, colorful sign that said, "Dad loves Joseph more than you." And oh boy, were they jealous. It wasn't just a little bit of envy, it grew into this really deep, really dangerous anger. Okay, so things are already tense. And what happens next? Well, as if things weren't bad enough, Joseph starts having these wild dreams, and these dreams are gonna pour gasoline on the fire of his brother's anger. So he has these two really important dreams. In the first one, he sees his brother's bundles of grain all bowing down to his bundle. Okay, weird, right? But then, the second dream, he sees the sun, the moon, and 11 stars all bowing down to him. And what does he do? He tells his brothers. You can just imagine how that went over. They were furious, basically shouting, "You think we're gonna bow down to you? No way." So one day, Jacob sends Joseph to go check on his brothers who are out working in the fields. And as they see him coming from way off in the distance, wearing that famous colorful coat, all that jealousy and anger boils over, and they come up with a truly terrible plan. It's just awful what they did. First, they grabbed him and ripped that beautiful coat right off him. Then they threw him into a deep, empty pit. And it gets worse. When some traders on their way to Egypt came by, the brothers sold Joseph to them as a slave. And to cover up what they did, they took his coat, dipped it in animal blood, and took it back to their father, Jacob. They let him believe that his favorite son, Joseph, was gone forever. You might think this is the end of the story for Joseph, but it's not even close. This was actually the beginning of a really, really long and hard journey for him in a brand new country, Egypt. So, Joseph's life in Egypt was a total roller coaster. First, he's sold as a servant. Then, he gets falsely accused of something he didn't do and ends up in prison. But through all of this awfulness, Joseph never lost his faith. And while he was in prison, this special gift from God really started to show itself. He could understand what dreams meant. And that one gift was about to change everything. Get this, the Pharaoh, the king of all Egypt, starts having these really troubling dreams, and nobody in his entire kingdom can figure them out. So they call for Joseph. They bring him out of prison, and he explains it all. He tells Pharaoh there will be 7 years of so much food you won't know what to do with it, followed by 7 years of terrible famine where there's no food at all. Pharaoh was so blown away by Joseph's wisdom that he basically said, "You're hired," and made him the second most powerful person in all of Egypt. His job? To save the whole country from the coming famine. So Joseph goes from a pit to a prison all the way to a palace. It's an incredible turnaround. And years go by. The famine he predicted, it arrived, just like he said it would. And that famine is what sets the stage for a family reunion nobody saw coming. Just like Joseph's dream interpretation said, a massive famine hit the entire land. And because of Joseph's amazing planning, the only place that had any food stored up was Egypt. And guess who shows up in Egypt looking for food? You got it, his 11 brothers, all the way from Canaan, desperate to feed their families. The second he saw them, Joseph knew exactly who they were. But they had no idea. To them, he was just this super powerful Egyptian ruler. They didn't recognize their little brother at all. So before he tells them who he is, Joseph decides to test them a little to see if they were still the same cruel brothers who sold him away all those years ago. And after a while, he sees that they have changed. They're different men. So he just can't hold it in anymore. Crying, he finally tells them, "I am Joseph, your brother." Can you imagine the shock? They were absolutely terrified. They must have thought, this is it. He's going to get his revenge on us for what we did. But Joseph doesn't want revenge. Instead, he offers them something incredible: forgiveness. He tells them, "Do not be afraid. What you meant to do to me for harm, God used it for good." He realized that his whole terrible journey, being sold, going to prison, it was all part of God's big plan to put him in the right place at the right time to save everyone, including his own family, from the famine. And that's really the heart of this amazing story, isn't it? It's all about finding hope when things seem impossible. It's about how powerful forgiveness can be. And it shows us that sometimes, even when terrible things happen, they can be part of a bigger plan for good that we just can't see yet. What an unbelievable story, from hardship all the way to redemption. Thank you so much for joining us and exploring the story of Joseph here at Bible Guidebook.
And hey, we've got so many more amazing stories just like this one right here on the channel for you to check out.
If this story meant something to you, we'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button and subscribe. That way you won't miss out on our next story. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.